In our modern world, it's safe to assume that surveillance and security cameras are seeing almost everything. So if you suffer an injury in view of a camera, it could change the way your case reaches a resolution. We're joined right now by attorneys Dawson and Jeffrey Ward with a thumbs up, guys, to learn how cameras can affect outcomes. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Great to have you guys here today. We've kind of talked about this before. Of course, cameras everywhere, phone cameras, all different kinds of cameras everywhere right now. So how often does surveillance footage play a role in injury cases?
Certainly more now than when we first started practicing. I think early on people used to think it was like CSI, where there's video of everything, and that wasn't really the case. To your point, you're seeing more of that with the proliferation of cell phones and Ring cameras and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see that data not only in a motor vehicle case where somebody has a dash cam, or maybe a business like a gas station has a video camera. We catch a little bit of it there. And then of course you've always kind of had them inside of your Walmarts and big box stores where they have security footage. I think one thing that has changed too is the clarity of the picture is a lot better than it used to be. You know, some of those old videos I used to go, who is this? I can't even see who it is. Much less, you know, if there's something on the floor there. But yeah, we do see a lot of it, and you know, it can certainly help a case. One of the things we always know is when the other side doesn't want to give us the video footage, we know it's a good thing. When they're giving it to us early on, it's usually not a good sign. They're happy to give up footage that is good for them, and they will not they'll not give us anything that's bad for them.
Yeah, so what should someone do if they think that someone does have video of their accident?
Well, you need to, if it's in a box store, like Brandon said, big box store, you need to put a manager on notice of the fall or trip or whatever happened. You just need to, if a case comes in our door and we think there's surveillance footage out there somewhere, the first thing we're doing is sending out, we call them POE letters, preservation of evidence letters. So saying, you know, sir, you own this store. We know y'all had cameras that caught the wreck that happened out in front of it. You need to preserve that footage for us. You don't necessarily have to turn it over to us if you don't want to, but if you don't, then there are repercussions down the road if you have this letter and you ignore it. So we want to make sure anyone who might have this type of footage is put on notice very early, because those tapes, those recordings get recycled after a while. You know, there's only so much data that they can hold, and so the older ones get deleted. Normally it's 30, 60 days, but we've seen it as short as 14 days. So we want to get those letters out, make those calls, go over there in person. I don't know how many times I've gone to a gas station, just walked in and it's like, can I speak to your manager on duty, and just have a conversation, because you don't want something that's going to help the case to disappear just because you didn't get to it fast enough.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen too is they sometimes will say, well, I can't give you the recording, but you can video the recording right there. And I've done that. Jeff's done that. You know, we've had clients who have gone, you know, the extra mile and gone into that store, and they'll just video with their phone the video of it. And so then we're able to have it, because, you know, that big box store or that gas station, you know, might have some protocol that says like they can't turn it over to us, but they can show it to you. And so then we just video that. So, you know, you have to find creative ways to make sure you get that information. And again, to Jeff's point, we want to make sure that if there's any good evidence out there that helps our clients and makes the case easier and better for us, that we get that information and we have possession of it as early and quickly as possible.
Yeah. We've been talking about the ways that this footage can help a case, but can footage like this actually hurt a case as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's bad for us, it's just as you know, detrimental as if it was good for us for the other side. But you know, taking it one step further, surveillance doesn't end at the scene of a wreck. We have certain defense firms or certain insurance carriers that are notorious for putting you know, surveillance on people after a wreck to, you know, they claim to make sure that the injuries you're claiming are actually resulting from the wreck, and you're not, you know, making something up, saying your leg hurts, and then they have video surveillance of you going on a run or playing some sport. So if we know certain carriers are involved, or if we're in litigation, certain defense firms are involved, we give our clients a heads up, being like, and telling them, don't assume you're not being watched from now until this case ends, because they will put, you know, PIs on them that follow them, you know, from the moment they leave the house to go to work that morning or go to the doctor till they go to sleep at night. And so that has really hurt clients who, if the video footage is, you know, showing them doing something they claim they couldn't do, then that's always detrimental to the case.
And we certainly don't want to represent somebody who is, you know, feigning an injury. But what happens in these situations is, you know, Jeff and I are hard-headed men, and you know, we think maybe sometimes you know, even if we're hurt, we can still do it. And then they take that snapshot and they say, well, Jeff said he couldn't lift 20 pounds, and here he is, you know, taking out, you know, the trash. and there's just these like fine lines where they can take a snapshot and make it look like it's something it's not. Now you see some funny stories online where somebody claims to have a back injury and then they're at like a cable tossing, where they're lifting 200-pound trees. But it's a different story, and those are certainly not cases that we want to be representing and bringing where somebody is feigning an injury. But what we don't want is for a small act to be taken out of context and used against somebody. So just being aware that you're always being watched is certainly one of those things that Jeff's very.
Some really important information here. So thank you guys so much. And of course, you want to learn more about this, you can go to inpain.com, call that number on your screen, or just follow the thumbs up guys on social media. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.